Tag that word in your word bank. Unparalleled. That means perfect. Nobody can compare with you. Dignity is honor. And learning, because he was only involved in the liberal arts and secret studies. So much so that he gave up all his responsibilities of dukedom to his own brother, trusting his brother. Right? Any other problem?
No, ma'am.
All right, now look at this question. Open to page 47. This is a very important question. Well-demanded wench. Question number 1, you can write the question. I'm not looking at the question of the workbook just now. Question number 1, to what does Prospero give this answer? And to whom? To what does Prospero give this answer? And to whom? Now, in your textbook, if you open to page 10, you will see Miranda has asked, wherefore did they not that are destroy us? Why did our enemies not kill us at that time? This is what Miranda had asked. And Prospero felt that it was a very relevant question. He is speaking to Miranda. Sorry, he's speaking to Miranda. All right, now this is the whole story. The enemies, that is Alonso and Antonio, did not kill them. I'm repeating this for those who are absent. Did not kill them because the people loved them so much. Loved Prospero so much. And they did not want to create any bloodshed. But instead, they hid their evil purposes under an attractive appearance. In short, they put us on a boat and took us some miles into the sea. 1 league is 3 miles. Where they prepared a rotten skeleton of a boat, which was not fitted out, no ropes, no sail, no mast. Even the rats had left it. It was dangerous for the rats also. There they threw us to cry to the sea. The sea rowed back to them. They sighed to the winds. This is all personification. And the winds sighed back to them again. And whatever harm the winds and the seas did to us was out of love. Wrong here means harm. It is an oxymoron. Now I've repeated it for those who were absent. Now here is your question. To whom is Prospero speaking? Very easy. What is well demanded? Very easy. Why didn't the enemies of Prospero get rid of him? I've already explained. Instead, What did they do? That is also explained. What is a rotten carcass of a butt? Means a broken down, old broken down boat. It is a metaphor because it is compared to a skeleton. Why is it called so? Because it was all broken down. Describe the condition of the butt. It was not fitted out. It didn't have rope, sail, not even a mast. So simple. Give the meaning of that I've already explained. Question number 5. Describe how the sea and its surroundings reflected the anxiety of Prospero and Miranda. First of all, you will say the sea and the wind are personified. The sea roared back to them and the wind sighed back to them in pity. It is only the winds and the sea that were sympathetic towards them. Then question number 7. Miranda asks very sensible questions. How did we come on the island? By God's grace. Very important dialogue, so I'm doing it with you. Some food we had and some fresh water that a noble man from Naples, Gonzalo, out of his kindness, though he was appointed as in charge of this plot against Prospero and Miranda, still out of his kindness, he gave us costly clothes, sheets, essential commodities, necessities, which since have helped us much. So out of his kindness, knowing that I loved my books, he supplied me from my own library with books that I value more than Milan. This dialogue is important because of Gonzalo's character. Now I think all the questions you'll be able to do. Where were Miranda and Prospero? That is also very simple. How did they reach the shore? Very simple. Who was Gonzalo? That you know already. How can you say that Gonzalo was a man with concern for Prospero? Very simple answer. He was the one who, out of his kindness, gave them food, drinking water, clothes, and necessities. He was an old counselor of Alonso, but he had concern for Prospero. This is a repeated answer. What did Gonzalo provide Prospero with for the journey? What was above Prospero's dukedom? His books, his library. How did Prospero make use of the books from his library? He read them to increase his knowledge. Especially using the books of magic. And then he made use of all the information in the entire play. So many things are done because of Prospero's magic. The storm is caused because of Prospero's magic. The enemies are brought on the island because of Prospero's magic. State briefly the type of education provided to Miranda. The type of education provided to Miranda was better than the education provided by other tutors. Who wasted their time in other things. But Prospero really utilized the time and taught her to be a good human being and made her sensible. Now, this you will not be able to do just now, but I think I should tell you so that you will know what is happening later. This answer is later in the book. Why did Prospero bring his enemies to the island? Write down. Prospero brought his enemies to the island Prospero brought his enemies to the island so that he would make them aware of the wrong they had done and make them repent. Repent means to feel sorry. So as to later forgive them. So as to later forgive them, full stop. In this way, the theme of the main plot is achieved. The theme of the main plot is achieved. What is the theme of the main plot? Forgiveness is nobler than revenge. If Prospero wanted, he could have killed Alonso and Antonio, but he didn't do that. He forgave them. And forgiveness is the very basis of Christianity. I think of all religions, there is no religion that says kill and take revenge. And now we'll continue. Page 11. So we also come to know from page 11 that Prospero is a very efficient father. And he plays the role of a mother efficiently as well. He is very capable. As a mother as well as a father. He taught her also, did not waste any time. To which Miranda says, may God reward you for this. I'm on line 175, page 11. May God reward you for this. And now I request you, sir, and now I request you, sir, to answer a question which is still troubling my mind. To answer a question which is still troubling my mind. Underline the question. Tell me why you caused this storm. Why did you raise this sea storm? Prospero gives the reason. He had raised the storm by his magic. Prospero says, I am going to tell you something more. I am going to tell you something more. Colon. By the most surprising accidents by the most surprising accidents comma generous fate fortune generous fortune you can just write a note on the left or the right somewhere. Fortuna, Fortuna, Fortuna was the Greek goddess of luck. Greek goddess of luck. And I don't think I have told you about fate also. Fate, there are three sisters. Who are responsible for the destiny of man. Three sisters who are responsible for the destiny of man. So generous fortune like a kind lady has brought my enemies on this shore. Has brought my enemies on this shore, and by my foreknowledge, F-O-R-E, foreknowledge. Foreknowledge is I know the future. The word is prescience, to know the future. And by my foreknowledge, I know the future. I find that my luck will reach its highest point. My luck will reach its highest point because now it depends upon a most favorable star. Which is rising in power. Which is rising in power. Comma, whose influence if I neglect. Whose influence if I neglect and ignore my luck will go down to the lowest point. Will go down to the lowest point.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
And I actually missed out a little bit after you said because now it depends upon.
I can't hear you, Kathy.
Ma'am, I missed out a little bit after you said.
Don't worry. I'm going to
it
repeat it.
upon.
I'm going to repeat it. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Now he says, stop asking more questions. He's telling Miranda, Stop asking more questions. You are feeling sleepy. And it is his magic that puts Miranda to sleep. You are feeling sleepy. Sleep is good for you. Sleep is good for you. Submit to it. Submit to it. Put a dash. You have no choice but to sleep. You have no choice but to sleep. All right. Now you check, Kathy. I'm doing the speech again.
Okay.
Look at your textbook. Prospero says, know thus far forth. Now you know, you must know something more I'm going to tell you. By accident. Accident here is a chance happening, which is most strange, most surprising, generous fortune. Luck is sometimes generous to one person and not generous to another. For example, if today something good happens to me, then luck is on my side. And if something bad happens to XYZ person, luck is not on that person's side. Bountiful means generous. Generous fortune is a dear lady, is a kind lady. Has my enemies brought to this shore? Enemies are especially Antonio and Alonso. Brought to this shore means on the island. And by my knowledge to know the future. Prospero says he has a prescience, foreknowledge, knowledge to know the future. I find my zenith. Zenith is the highest point of luck. Does depend upon a most favorable star. In those days also, children, there was a lot of belief in astrology. If you have got what we call a horoscope, and you go, your mummy takes it to some pandit to read your horoscope. It is a science. It is not superstition at all. He will tell you which is your good period, which is your bad period. The very learned ones, I know of people who have done MA in astrology. So it is a subject. So at this moment, I feel that my stars are favorable. And now if I don't take the opportunity, whose influence if now I quote not? If I don't take the opportunity now, I neglect it, but omit. Omit means to ignore, leave out. My luck will go down to the lowest point. It's a metaphor. You've seen a flower freshly cut. It's like this. But after 2-3 days, it droops. Here he's talking about fortune drooping. So it is a metaphor. Then he speaks to Miranda. Stop more questions. You are inclined to sleep. Sleep is good for all of us, children. It energizes our body to be fresh and wake up again for hard work. So you are feeling sleepy. Submit to your sleep. That means go to sleep. I know you can not choose. Means you have no choice. You are so sleepy that you should sleep. Miranda sleeps. Now, we are introduced to Ariel. Write a question. General question on Ariel. With close reference to the play, with close reference to the play, evaluate the character, and role of Ariel in the play. Now, Act 1, Scene 1 was a storm. It was caused by Prospero's magic. But Prospero uses Ariel to work out his magic. Because Ariel is an airy spirit, it is easy, and Ariel can change his forms. I've already told you so much about Ariel. So now we will come to know what Ariel did in Act 1, Scene 1. So from here starts your answer. And this will continue till the end of the play. All Prospero's magic is worked out by Ariel. So if Ariel was not there, Prospero could not have done it. He is the head of spirits, Ariel. And he is also called the supernatural element. So without Ariel, there would have been no play. Without the supernatural element, there would have been no play.